Headline: Mystery surrounds objects shot down by U.S. military. Source: BBC News. Date 13 February 2023. Details: the U.S. military is unsure what 3 flying objects it shot out of the skies over North America were, and how they were able to stay aloft. President Joe Biden ordered another object, the 4th in total this month, to be downed on Sunday, as it was traveling at 20,000 feet, 6,100 meters. It could have interfered with commercial air traffic, the U.S. said. A military commander said it could be a gaseous type of balloon, or some type of a propulsion system. China says U.S. sent more than 10 balloons into airspace. He added he could not rule out that the objects were extraterrestrials. The latest object shot down over Lake Huron in Michigan near the Canadian border has been described by defense officials as an unmanned octagonal structure with strings attached to it. It was downed by a missile fired from an F-16 fighter jet at 14:42 local time, 1942 GMT. The incident raises further questions about the spate of high-altitude objects that have been shot down over North America this month. U.S. Northern Command Commander General Glenn Van Herk said that there was no indication of any threat. "I'm not going to categorize them as balloons. We're calling them objects for a reason," he said. "What we are seeing is very, very small objects that produce a very, very low radar cross-section," he added. Speculation as to what the objects may be has intensified in recent days. "I will let the intel community and the counterintelligence community figure that out," Gen Van Herk said when asked if it was possible the objects are aliens or extraterrestrials. "I haven't ruled out anything at this point." A suspected Chinese spy balloon was downed off the coast of South Carolina on 4 February, after hovering for days over the U.S. Officials said it originated in China and had been used to monitor sensitive sites. China denied the object was used for spying and said it was a weather monitoring device that had blown astray. The incident and the angry exchanges in its aftermath ratcheted up tensions between Washington and Beijing. But on Sunday, a defense official said the U.S. had communicated with Beijing about the first object, after receiving no response for several days. It was not immediately clear what was discussed. Since that first incident, American fighter jets have shot down 3 further high-altitude objects in as many days. President Biden ordered an object to be shot down over northern Alaska on Friday, and on Saturday a similar object was shot down over the Yukon in northwestern Canada. Both the U.S. and Canada are still working to recover the remnants, but the search in Alaska has been hampered by Arctic conditions. These objects did not closely resemble and were much smaller than the 4 February balloon, and we will not definitively characterize them until we can recover the debris, a White House national security spokesperson said. China's foreign ministry said on Monday the U.S. has flown balloons into its airspace more than 10 times in the past year. "It's not uncommon as well for the U.S. to illegally enter the airspace of other countries," said Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin at a press briefing. Detection of the most recent objects could be a result of widening the search from radars and sensors, a U.S. official told The Washington Post on Saturday. The official, who requested anonymity, likened it to a car buyer unchecking boxes on a website to broaden the parameters of what can be searched. But he said it was unclear whether this was producing more hits, or if the new incursions are part of a more deliberate action. Line. Unidentified flying objects timeline. 4 February, U.S. military shoots down suspected surveillance balloon off the coast of South Carolina. It had drifted for days over the U.S., and officials said it came from China and had been monitoring sensitive sites. 10 February, U.S. downs another object off northern Alaska, which officials said lacked any system of propulsion or control. 11 February, an American fighter jet shoots down a high-altitude airborne object over Canada's Yukon Territory, about 100 miles, 160 kilometers from the U.S. border. It was described as cylindrical and smaller than the first balloon. 12 February, U.S. jets shoot down a 4th high-altitude object near Lake Huron, out of an abundance of caution. One senior official told ABC News that the 3 most recent objects to be shot down were likely weather devices and not surveillance balloons. But this was seemingly contradicted by the top Democrat in Congress, who earlier told the broadcaster that intelligence officials believed the objects were in fact surveillance balloons. "They believe they were balloons, yes," Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said, adding that they were much smaller than the first one shot down off the South Carolina coast. Democrat Debbie Dingell, one of several Michigan members of Congress who applauded the military for downing the object over the state on Sunday, and growing calls for the White House and defense officials to provide more information. We need the facts about where they are originating from, what their purpose is, and why their frequency is increasing, she said. Democratic Senator John Tester, who represents Montana, told the BBC's U.S. partner CBS, "What's gone on the last 2 weeks or so has been nothing short of craziness, and the military needs to have a plan to not only determine what's out there, but determine the dangers." Republicans have repeatedly criticized the Biden administration for its handling of the first suspected spy balloon, saying it should have been shot down far sooner. Other countries are watching the response in the U.S. closely in case an object is discovered in their airspace. In the UK, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said his government will do whatever it takes to keep the country safe from the threat of spy balloons. "We have something called the Quick Reaction Alert Force, which involves Typhoon planes, which are kept on 24/7 readiness to police our airspace, which is incredibly important," he added. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and share. Don't forget subscribe and click the bell button to get update news reminder.